Alright folks, it's good evening, good to see you, and hope everybody's had a good day today. And we're going to try to make this persimmon pudding. And I've got the recipe out, I've got everything together here as far as I know, so I can get right at it. And the first thing that we're supposed to do, we got 1.5 cups of self-rising flour and 1.5 cups of granulated sugar. Now, if you don't use self-rising flour, if you have some that you mix up, you can mix 1.5 cups and to make it self-rising, and I'm sure that will work just fine. So that's the first thing that you do. And if you remember, let me grab something here. We worked our persimmon pulp out, and I've got that out here. It's been in the refrigerator. Normally I would freeze it, but if you do freeze it, you know, you will definitely need to let it thaw out before you try and use it. But according to my recipe, get my papers off of it. We take the pulp and go ahead and put that in here. This is 2 cups of persimmon pulp. And 2 eggs. 2 eggs here, and what we want to do, we want to beat these together. And then we'll add our our milk, I'm sorry. We'll add the milk to it. This will be, when you put it into the dish over here, this will be kindly runny, so don't let that scare you. But we'll mix this in. And I've got 1 stick of butter. And I'm going to melt that. We put that in last. And I've got my oven preheating to 350 degrees. Go ahead and add this in. And you can make this with a stand mixer or whatever. I just use this here whisk. Seems like these old-fashioned recipes work better by hand. All right. Now you can see that's the largest pyrex dish I have to mix with, so you will need a good sized dish. I'm using I think this is a 9 by 12 or 9 by 13 glass pyrex dish. This is what I use, and you will need to grease it, so I'm going to that's greased. Set this out of the way. Set this out of the way. Set this. Okay. Now, calls for a half a teaspoon. This is pumpkin pie spice. You can use cinnamon, you can use nutmeg, however you want to do. This is just what we use. And I put in a teaspoon of vanilla flavoring. Seems like that just gives it a little something extra. Maybe just a tad more than a teaspoon. But those are the spices that we put in it. And it comes together easy, and a lot of the stuff that you use in it is stuff that most people already have at home anyway. So, and we'll add our butter in last. Grab that. Pour that in, whip it in good, because this batter is cold and that butter will set up if you don't get to stirring it in good. I like to get stuff out of my way. My oven's not quite ready yet, but I'm going to go ahead and pour this in the dish. I'm sure everybody has their way of doing this. This is the way we do it, or my grandmother. And just to say a little bit about her, she's the only grandparent. There's ready. The only grandparent that I have left living, and she's special, so I'm thankful that I got to know her as long as I have. Alright, that will need to bake between 30 and 45 minutes, give or take a little bit. Every oven's a little different, so I'll show you before I'm done. I'll show you what it looks like. And while this is cooking, it's not uncommon for it to rise up, kind of like pumpkin pie, sweet potato pie, and then it will settle back down. And so I'll show you what it'll look like here in just a little bit. We'll take it out, and you can see what it looks like. I just wished you could smell what it smelt like. But getting back on my grandmother, she's one of those that she was born in 1932, right in the heart of the Great Depression and just previous to World War II. And she comes from a special generation, and there was some tough people built back then in those days, and we need more of those people today. And she wasn't a bit afraid of hard work, and well, still is not, you know, considering. But anybody from that generation, if you have them in your family, cherish every moment that you have to be with them, and be with them all that you can. And because the day's coming, they will not be there. And so I encourage you. And my oldest son, he's very close to his great-grandmother, and I'm thankful for that. And so anyway, I'm going to finish this up and get my dishes washed up, and I'll come back and we'll take it out of the oven and let you see what it looks like. Thank you. Okay, folks, I do believe that's done. like I say, it'll rise just like bread or anything that's got, you know, that's got self-rising flour in it. So I guess that's why it does. But this will sink back down, so don't let that alarm you. But it took me just about 30 minutes, right at 30 minutes for this to cook. So this is a convection oven, so it does cook just a little faster than a traditional oven will. So anyway, this is what it looks like. Make sure you can see it in the camera. And seeing it doesn't really do it any justice. I wish you could smell it, because it smells like fall. And I'm going to put all the ingredients that I used and the recipe in the description. And I hope you'll enjoy this if you try it. If you have any questions or have any comments, feel free to leave something in the comment section. And I do appreciate everyone that's subscribed to my channel, and I appreciate all your interaction that you do. And I hope we can do more things up the road. I'll be in here working. I'll be outside working in the garden. There's no telling. And then we will have our music too that we'll put up from time to time. So anyway, we really appreciate each one of you that's a part of us, and we hope to make this thing go on for a good while. So anyway, y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you again.